Welcome, everyone. Just gonna make sure my microphone is set up properly. Welcome. Oh yeah. Everyone. Oh yeah. Put myself on mute. All right. Welcome to the masterclass, everyone. I am just going to go ahead and dive right into the slides. And I am at it. Okay. Welcome. Very excited. I was trying to get on and Zoom was not letting me connect to Facebook. So mild panic for a split sec. Everything's fine now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And technical hurdle number 2. Let's just bear with me here for a moment. I find it's really helpful for me to have the slides at the ready. And sometimes it takes a few times. Just a fun fact, my husband has his office down the hall, and sometimes he puts on his headset and he sings to Radiohead really loud. So okay, you hear that? That is what's going on there. Okay, really quick, I'm going to pull up my slides. Okay, sometimes it just doesn't let me. It's very frustrating now. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to share my iTunes screen with you. Sometimes if I do that, it's really weird. Share my screen. OMG, dude. Okay, let us, oh my apologies. Okay, all right, share here. Oh my goodness, this is so crazy making. Okay, I'm gonna try one more thing. Bear with me and we'll get started right into the live training on how to create 10K months as a mom coach in 2023. All right, so I'm gonna pull up my slides. Almost feel like I should back on. Hear that? Okay, guys, recent, yeah, definitely Radiohead home. I should almost just, okay, I'll move this up. I might have to do this in a different way, no problem. Let's try this one last time. And I am going, there we go. Okay, here we go. All right, thank you for your patience. So I am going to put this in presentation mode. Present mode. And this should kick in about 2 seconds. So name that tune that my husband is singing and is it's so cute. Always happens around this time of day. Okay, this is going to kick in 2 seconds. I'm just going to have a sip of water. All that stress has gotten me all glowy. All right, computer's thinking. And we're going to be good to go. Okay, voila. On my end, I see me in presentation mode. Let us rock and roll. Okay, so welcome to this masterclass where I'm going to be sharing with you from my 10 years experience as being a mom coach myself, how the landscape is looking for the upcoming year and you really making like a substantial starting off point as a mom coach, 10K a month. I'm going to show you what I see out there. It's working, what's not working. And this is really going to get you pumped. it is good news for you. So let's dive right into the slides. So the reason I'm saying good news is I put my Nancy Drew hat on, and as you know me, I am not super logical, and that's okay. I've been broken record messaging a lot lately about sometimes in business, you just got to turn off your thinking head and listening to your second brain, your gut. So my gut has always been guiding me towards coaching is a growing industry. And I think because I know I'm very attuned to my cravings, both in the hunger realm, but also in connection. And I sensed, even when my kids were little, that there is this need because of the online culture we're growing up in for more like support. And also maybe because we moved out to a pretty remote area. As a mom, when my kids were babies, I didn't have our immediate family close by. So I found that I didn't have that support system in place, but I found it online. And then even deeper, I found community. But then when I was having like explicit struggles, I wanted to work with an expert. So I hired coaches, luckily, when my kids were very young, and I hired them in relation to what my needs were. So like a organizational coach, a homeschooling coach, even time management coach, moving coach. So whatever was causing me a lot of upheaval in my emotional environment within, I was able, thanks to the internet, find a coach who area of specialty of it was that. And sometimes even like broader coaches, it just all depended. So I am not surprised to learn when I wanted to get some fun facts for you guys at the ready is that it is growing. And the reason it is growing, because I always say coaching is something that is inexplicable. You really have to experience it to be able to be like, oh yeah, coaching is awesome. It's one of those life experiences that you need to actually live it. So what I found interesting, according to IPEC, a global coaching institute, 99% of those coached were satisfied or very satisfied. And 96% said that they repeat the process. So the key word here is profound benefits it provides. So that's going to be a little teaser into what is going to help you reach 10K a month in a second here. And then another fun fact I found was in 2020, when everyone was in panic about lockdowns and, oh my God, what is this going to mean for finances? And I have to admit, I was one at the grocery store who did like grab couple extra of my favorite staples because just like, what's happening? You know, I've always had this fear of not having my comfort foods ever since I was little. So, but the market size of online coaching platforms is nearly $2 billion, and they're forecasting that it's actually going to increase quite like double almost by 2028. Again, I'm not surprised. Technology is affording us this ability to get out there and offer these types of services. And again, people are starting to experience those intangible and tangible benefits that having coaching services offered to you provides. So what this tells us is to focus on the benefits. I was actually just on a call with a client. She is so interesting and she has so many life experiences, tools, techniques, trainings, certifications, and all these really cool modalities. And I was saying that we need to focus on the benefits that you're bringing to the table. So don't be marketing yourself, you guys, as an EFT coach or Reiki or whatever coaching modality you use. We want to be making sure you're really clear on who it is that you're serving and not the tools you use. The tools you use, you can use in your content, you know, pull it into stories, but really be selling the results that you deliver as a coach, especially because there are more coaches coming into the games that is awesome. That is not a scarcity concern. This is an abundance. Like, wow. You always want to be seeing, like, it's, again, not logical. I don't have an economics degree, but to me, it just makes sense. There is a growing demand. So if you get in there, you want to be pretty succinct with what it is you do as a coach. So you stand out by owning an area of expertise, again, using your brain for this, this makes sense for me to go into this particular niche. And also peppering that by showing up as yourself. Because no matter how many people are already in your niche, and if there's a lot of people in there, that's a good sign. It is a profitable one. There's no one like you. You're going to be able to explain the problem that you solve in a very unique way, just simply by the way you talk, the way you think about things, the analogies you pull in. So that is what's going to help you stand out. And then I want you to not worry that by choosing one area, one struggle, and those particular benefits that you deliver, that you are going to be keeping yourself too exclusive. The world is getting huge with people. It's been on the news a lot. 8 billion forecasted to be hit pretty quick. So I always think about all the people on the planet. There are going to be at least 2 new clients for you a month, if not more. So there's no need to be concerned that there isn't enough clients to go around to have you hitting those 10K months. I'm going to show you what that's going to look like in a sec. So there's a growing need for coaching. It's becoming more mainstream. And I often liken it to in 2000, my husband and I, we went to Hawaii and I was practicing yoga on the beach. I used to be a Ashtanga yoga teacher before I met him. And remember, these 2 guys came up to me and they're like, what are you doing here? And it's like yoga still was kind of not very mainstream back in the days. They had no idea what I was doing there. And so I'm kind of feeling like coaching is hitting that cusp as well. So get in there. Now's the perfect time and totally doable for you to make a sweet little income. So this is how you're going to do it. So you're going to come up with an offer that you are pricing at a mid-level to high-level price point, meaning at least $1,000 for a 3-month coaching package. If you follow me, I'm all about the birthing analogy. So I like to always break it down into trimesters. So think of knowing who it is you serve and what struggle you want to focus your attention, coaching skills and modalities and meditations on. You are going to think what makes sense in terms of time frame to get them to the result that they're seeking. And it could be, I encourage you between 3 months to a year, sweet spot 6. I love 6 months working privately with my clients. And again, all of this comes when you start experimenting. So start somewhere. So if anywhere, if you're just starting like carte blanche, then start with 3 months at $1,000 price point and then see how that feels, how that goes over. And then what happened to me, I used to offer 3-month private coaching. I noticed, right at we get to that 3-month point, it's when things start to rock and roll, we need to continue. And then it turns into a whole other conversation of re-upping. So that, again, it takes experimentation. Maybe for you, 3 months is perfect. So in order for you to hit those 10K months, think of like, okay, eventually I am going to create a package that I can price at 5K, 10K, 2,500, and then you think, how many clients a month is that? And that's all you have to do. You show up confident and sell those coaching spots. And what feeds this confidence is knowing that you get your clients' results because you intentionally chose a struggle that with your own life experiences, your expertise trainings, everything you're passionate about, you're devoting your work hours to addressing this issue, looking at it from all these different angles, and continuously serving, helping your clients. And as you do that, you get experience, you get confidence, and confidence is what's going to help you stand out. And another thing, when you think about getting, booked out as a mom coach next year, as we get more and more online and on our phones, you might notice this phenomenon that people's attention span, surprise, surprise, are shrinking. So there used to be a marketing adage, so I'm gonna plug in my phone, that people need to see a marketing message on average. I think it was, I have it written down somewhere, like 12 times, like 10 to 12 times in order for them to take action on a marketing message that they receive. And because of online world we live in, that has gone up. People need to see it like now, like more than double, 28 times. So you need to be used to make that invitation to work with you in this mid to high end offer every day, multiple times a day. And it's not going to come off as salesy, because you know in your heart, this is making a difference in your audience's world, right? So I always like to offer my clients to think about, when they hired me as a coach, or another time they hired a life coach or someone else to work privately, is like, how did it feel to be on the receiving end of that message? And if you think back, you're like, actually, I enjoyed receiving those little indications, notifications that there's a new email from so-and-so. Yay, I'm curious to hear, what her take is on, what's going on, or, I just love those emails I get. Some of them aren't business related, but, just stuff I'm interested in. And I really value this person's perspective on things. So just think of what works for you in the marketing sense and think, yeah, okay, this gives you a permission slip of just showing up. People can always unsubscribe, unfollow, or just keep scrolling. But don't be shy about making that offer over and over and over again. So you also want to really sit and intentionally create a journey for your ideal person who comes into your world, that mama who is experiencing whatever struggle that you're excited to help them through. Just think of, okay, she discovers me by either landing on my website thanks to SEO, or I was helpful in someone's Facebook group and they checked out my personal profile and they saw there was a freebie and they signed up for it. So just imagining once they come into my Facebook group or sign on that sign up sheet in that in-person workshop I offered, what happens next? Oh, she gets on my email list. Now I'm going to nurture that relationship. Or maybe they subscribe to my podcast because it came up with an iTunes search. So just really thinking about all the different ways your ideal client can enter your world, and then making sure that all those bases are covered. And then you don't have to overthink it. You just show up in a very simple to implement marketing plan that is going to ensure that you're getting out there with enthusiasm, excitement, making that invitation, and all these really cool pieces fit together. Okay, so first thing you got to do though is you need to get clarity in your offer and in your messaging. So the saying, riches in the niches, absolutely. And I like to share that there's two different kinds of niches. There's your niche, what you call yourself in the public domain, and also your niche statement. So niche, you can call yourself. I challenge you to come up with 20 different ways to describe what it is you do. You can say, I'm a mom coach. I am a energy healer for moms. I am a mentor for moms. So you could just kind of like think of different ways you can like present yourself and just have fun with trying on those different hats. But in your heart, you hold that niche statement, which is I help moms, what kind of moms, or just moms struggling with that one struggle. And then finally, that result that you deliver. So the result being something concrete like more money, or stronger health or richer relationships. It typically falls within one of those three domains. All other feelings, like sometimes like I help my clients struggling with, let's say that first year of mothering so that they can feel peace, calm, and confidence, right? That is gorgeous. I get it. But those feelings, allow yourself to really tap into those feelings when you're showing up to market your business and when you're sharing your messaging, and instead speak to the concrete results so that you can connect with your husband or your partner along with your other kids while you navigate that, that pajama party called the first year of motherhood, or however you want to place it. But you want to get really clear on that niche statement, build your signature offer from that. And then with your messaging, you're just going to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you might notice there's really not much variation on what I talk about. It always comes back to the niche, right? And simplicity and some other themes. But I honestly feel like I am saying the same thing over and over again in different ways. And then it kind of grows like a little ivy plant. Like it just kind of like, oh, your messaging starts to organically grow into other areas, but it all comes back to the same mother intention, which is your niche statement. Okay. To make money, 10K a month as a mom coach in 2023, you need to treat this as a business. So no more hobby time. You are going to really embrace a CEO mindset and start training those habits that see you showing up consistently, working regular work hours, and doing all those grown-up-y stuff, like having a business bank account and doing those monthly reviews. You just want to really compartmentalize, for the most part, those two things. So consistency, it totally depends on your genetic makeup, your human design. That's what I learned about me. As much as I really cherish predictability in my routine, there's a part of me that is very feminine and goes with the flow. That's why I love what being a mom coach has afforded me when my kids were younger, just having that flexibility, right? But for the most part, it was like a willow tree, right? I could bend, but there is that strong center of, nope, this is a legit business. So this looks like also just creating those boundaries so that when you get those invitations from friends, hey, do you want to go for lunch? And just being like, no, actually, treating it like you're at a job. I can't, that's when I work, but I could do Friday at 1 o'clock or something. So just present yourself as a business owner, meeting when you meet people, even if this is a side gig, but you are preparing to enter this as a full-time gig. Say, what do you do for a living? I am a life coach. So start presenting, getting into routine where you get dressed up for work, right? Even if it's a business mullet, right? You're kind of fancy up top, but like me, always wearing leggings, comfy pants underneath, and making sure you're presenting. This is very mindset-y too, right? Like, I don't know. I like to put on a little makeup. I like to, light a candle, and that is a signal to my brain. It is time for me to get to work. And also treating it as a business by making those smart investment choices. It's like when you spend money on your business, not only thinking, oh, this is a tax write-off, but also like, I am going to do whatever it takes to make a return on this investment, and committing to making that happen. And here I wrote, embrace the entrepreneurial spirit and all the ups and downs that come with it. I grew up with a very entrepreneurial father. My mom, technically, she worked from home as a seamstress. Both my brothers are entrepreneurs, or they were. Anyways, but for a long time, they were very cool entrepreneurs. And I think it's something to be said about being raised in that home environment where there's just this like risk factor involved. So you have to realize that it is so rewarding going down this path, but just like everything in life, it has its pros and cons. And to me, the pros vastly outweigh the cons, but one of the cons is there is going to be failure and you have to be prepared for that. And also commit to not giving up and learning from that experience. So if you do go down, just remember you can come up, but if you make that commitment to yourself and you put your all into it, it's going to be so fruitful. Still hear him singing, it's so cute. Okay, so you want to have a marketing plan, one that's so simple that you can stay consistent. I shared in this week's podcast episode about practices that help you create new clients. And I kept talking about this analogy of your marketing plan essentially being like riding a scooter. There's like this, you use your foot to kick 3 times, and then there's a coasting period. And the coasting periods are such a gift because this is when you could be like, I am going to take the afternoon off and go for a hike. Or me last week, I need to spend the day in bed. I'm not feeling super hot. And knowing that you've kicked enough throughout the week that you can coast. So you can have a version of your marketing plan that's super simple to pull off in case of emergency. And then when you feel strong, you can start adding some more bells and whistles. And this also kind of pertains to if you want to stretch beyond your one signature offer. Then you can start offering like group programs or other e-courses that I'm starting to offer more and more of. But begin with, keep it simple until you find your rhythm in your marketing style, your messaging, and getting in front of your ideal clients. And you also want to have it aligned with how your energy naturally shines. So a lot of this is really front and center for me lately, getting deeper into human design, because I noticed that that it's really important for me to have fun in all areas of my life. And even doing my chart readings for my family members, my daughter, she's a projector. So I really brought to her attention how important it is for her to have time alone for her to recharge her battery. So she's currently looking at what she's going to do post-secondary, and I can tell that she's keeping that in mind, and she sees that in herself, that she really appreciates her downtime to recharge. So notice how you naturally show up and making a marketing plan that speaks to those strengths. And then again, coming back to the client journey, so thinking about, okay, how are they finding me? And how is this going to lead them to working with me one-on-one? So think about, I talk often about my 4x1 plan is having that weekly email that you send, that nurturing love letter to people who have opted in to hear from you because they see that you are focused on one particular area. And also there's that invitation once a week in that email. And it's letting them know this is what's going on in my weekly content, whether it be a new podcast episode or a blog post or a Instagram live. So just making sure that you're showing up every day, wherever your ideal person is hanging out, and getting creative with where else are they? Are they in my real life community, or are there meetups online that I can show up or propose a online workshop related to my area of expertise? So you get to get creative with your plan, but make sure you keep that plan simple so you can stay consistent showing up. Okay, so what you want to be doing now, if you want to be set up for getting this plan into action in 2023, is to nail down that niche statement. Yeah, this can bring up a lot of resistance for people, but one thing I want to offer you again is just for 3 months, for one trimester, home in on one, and no, you're not getting a tattoo. You're just going to go all in on, I help moms struggling with, if you're a more broad mom coach, think about the main struggles that you enjoy working with your clients on. If you really can't commit to one for 3 months, then just break it down into 3 struggles and do 1 struggle a month and see how that feels. So play with I help moms struggling with one struggle so that they can get healthier, make money, or foster stronger connections with their spouse, kids, neighbors, friends, etc. You're going to then create a high-end offer. It's so funny when I say high-end, but really what that means is $1,000 at least, 4-figure, 3 months. Like really, that's a screaming deal. When you think of someone creating money or someone getting healthier, someone who's loving themselves or establishing deeper connections with those around them, like, yes, please, $1,000 is a screaming deal, right? So come up with that high-end signature offer and love it up. And I think that was mentioned last week's podcast too. It's the power of loving your offer. So when you're writing out essentially a sales page for your offer, you want to be like, oh my God, if I wasn't me, I would so purchase this right now. So you want to have that excitement for your offer because you are going to be talking about it a lot. You should be, if you want to be making 10K a month in 2023. And you also want to come up with the pretty proven process. What do I mean by that? You might be thinking, Kathy, I just started off. I just decided this niche statement. I haven't proven this process. So what I mean by a pretty proven is that it's kind of proven somehow, meaning I always use this example just because when I look up from my computer, I see the door to my office and I see the couch that's facing me. And I always imagine my ideal client coming into my office, even though I don't have people coming into my office other than my dog and my husband sometimes, coming in and just like stressed out looking and then flopping on this couch in front of me going, I'm stuck. My niche statement, I help mom coaches struggling with getting clients so that they can reach their income goals. So I think about that niche statement. She says that to me, I'm struggling here. I'm not getting clients. I need help. I need to be making money like stat. And I would go, okay, first you got to, and then I go basically what I wrote out here. Okay, we got to get you clear your niche statement. We got to create a high-end offer that's irresistible. We're going to come up with your process. Ooh, how meta is that? We're going to work on your mindset. We're going to come up with some sexy content pillars, and we are going to repurpose all that you come up with. So imagine that happening to you right now with your ideal client. She's coming in, she's flopping. You're like, okay, first you got to own that process. And this is going to inform your messaging, your marketing, and it's going to get you confident. So the pretty part means start off there and as you actually start putting this into practice by coaching your clients, then you're going to see, ooh, maybe I can simplify my process even more or add another step here. It's going to morph, but you'll be surprised, I bet, because whatever you feel in your gut right now is what is your process. Chances are very good you're not going to be straying too far from this. So go with the pretty proven. You've proven it on yourself, or you've proven it in your head, what makes sense, or a combination of, and or even start off if you've gone through a coaching certification with that, but go with your gut, what makes gut sense for you and your ideal client. Okay, so instill doable mindset practices. So what does that mean? It means mindset practices that work for you, that doable, meaning they you don't have to spend like half an hour every morning doing like the thought work, journaling. It's like whatever works for you. What works for you? For some people, it's listening to podcasts while they get their morning coffee ready. For others, it's listening to music, really tapping into the love of their offer and like doing like I just did before I hit go live. I did this goofy dance to this. I have my Get Pumped music playlist, and it's so funny because there's some swear words, and I'm like, I always have to make sure his little ears aren't around, but I'm just like, ooh, gangsta mom. But whatever gets you in the mindset of like, I love my job, I love my offer, I love my clients. Let's do this. I got an amazing deal at the ready for one lucky mama out there. Let's do this. So whatever works for you. There's a million mindset practices to choose from. A great one is simply writing out your niche statement every day. For me, I do that. Then I take a shower, and that's when the ideas come on. It's like, oh, that would be helpful for my ideal client or one of my clients. So get into a practice and come up with sexy content pillars. So be inspired by your process. And what I mean by sexy is think of your ideal client. What are they searching? Come up with words of what will capture their attention, right? Lean on the results they're seeking, like 10K a month. So I am purposefully peppering my podcast episodes, my trainings, my offers with these sexy words. So I'm trying to see if I have it handy. If I don't, I'm just going to like move on. But I have somewhere, maybe it's not that handy, a list. We come up with like different lists that I think are sexy for my ideal client these days. I have so many. So anyways, 10K is one of them, and I can't find it right now. All right. I'm not looking right now. Damn it. All right, moving on. Oh, here we go. Mom coach, money, first client, next client, human design, high ticket, coaching offer, nail your messaging, niche, simple, strategy, sales. So that's about half of them. So just take a moment and then write down all those words that your ideal client would like, bing, capture their attention, get it down and use that when you're writing your content. Use your methodology, and then come up with content pillars, like maybe 4 or 5 main things that you talk about over and over again. And from there, you're going to master the fine art of repurposing something. So what I mean, for me, like repurposing my podcast. I keep talking about last week's podcast, but maybe because instinctively I knew I was going to be teaching this today, and everything, again, when you commit to niche statement, you'll see that all of your contents overlap with one another, and it makes sense. But that podcast, there was like 3 main points to it. You know, one of those points could be repurposed into a social media reel on Instagram or stories. I could post a little blurb on it in my Facebook group or create a live. So just get really creative with how you repurpose. It's going to save you a lot of time, and time is money, like 10K a month type money. All right. So if you need support with this, there's 2 main ways you can work with me these days, and I'm really pumped about. So my favorite way to work with my clients is one-on-one, because we get pretty intimate. We meet once a week, and it's like, hey, what's going on today? So we really meet you where you're at. We begin, of course, establishing everything we talked about, your niche, where you're at, what your offer is, your marketing plan. But we have 6 months together. So we're going to implement. All my clients have Voxer access to me, private message. Voxer is really cool because you can walkie-talkie me. I always tell my clients, they have questions like, you know, how should I word this? I tell them, sometimes they transcribe it. There's a way you can transcribe. So you just have me at your beck and call, but I do have strong, that's a Voxer going off now. I do have strong boundaries, of course. I respond during my work hours, but basically you have me as your silent business partner. And that looks like for 6 months of weekly private coaching session of $5,000. And I'm smiling right now because I'm just reading my notes. If you commit to 2 rounds of 6-month coaching package with me before the end of the year and lock into my 2022 prices, I'm smiling because you'll get this bonus of a fantasy suite night with me. Sorry, I didn't mean to screech there, but did anybody watch The Bachelor? If you don't watch The Bachelor, when they come down to like the final 3 contestants, they get something called a fantasy suite night. So basically, you can get yourself to Nelson, British Columbia. It's like heaven on earth here in the summer. Anytime that planes can land, they only can land here between Mother's Day and what's the other, Halloween. Yeah, the snow comes. So you want to get here in the summer. We can go to the beach. We can go get a couples massage. We'll go out for a fancy dinner. We'll do all my favorite things. We can go for a hike, your favorite things too, whatever is up your alley. We'll have a day, hot springs, and we'll talk business. You just have to get here. You do have to set up your own accommodations, but that day, from the morning to the evening, we'll go out for fancy dinner, is going to be bliss. We're going to talk business, and I think it would be epic fun. So that's a bonus if you get, you commit to 2 rounds. So that's $10,000 for all of January. For all of 2023. You just need to commit to that before the end of the year. Way number two to work with me these days. So this is the big reveal. It's kind of like a mastermind. It's called the 10K a month mom coach circle. So this starts in January, and I'm really excited about this. It's going to be 3 months of you, me, and other mom coaches meeting weekly, and we're going to go over everything I just covered. There is a sales page that is now live, so you can check out all the details. But basically, from January into March, I guess, every week we're moving through one of these areas. And then we're going to alternate a day to implement. And it's going to be, you can see all the details of what we're going to cover, but it's basically what I shared when it talked about what it takes to make 10K as a mom coach this year. You'll also get lifetime access to the Mom Coaching Biz Birth Kit, which has like master classes on how to run discovery calls, swipe copy on how to reach out to your friends and family, letting them know that you have a coaching biz. If they have any referrals, tons and tons of resources, mindset, master classes. What else is in there? Meditations to get you pumped and grounded before a coaching session. So all of my master classes are housed in there because like this one, the replay is only available for 48 hours, and this one's coming down too and will be placed inside the Mom Coaching Biz Birth Kit resource library. Okay, so bonuses. Right now, the 10K a month Mom Coach Circle is available at pre-sale only until Monday night. And after that, it goes up to $1,500. Right now, it's only $1,200, you guys. Can you say crazy pants? Like yeah, I'm just saying that's a really good deal for a 3-month mastermind with a coach who specializes in working with mom coaches, and for you to be surrounded by other mom coaches, getting your business set up to sell $1,000 at least price point coaching packages, if not more. So it's basically ridiculous. But if that is still a stretch for you, there are payment plans available. And if you pay in full, you will get the bonus though of a one-on-one coaching call with me. And if you pay before Tuesday, this goes away on Tuesday as well, the human design reading on top of a one-on-one. So you get a 45-minute one-on-one to talk business to get you set up. And if you pay in full before Tuesday, you'll also get a human design reading. So that human design reading is going away after Tuesday and won't come back as a bonus. And we start first week in January. So basically, if you hold your spot today, you will have instant access to the Coaching Biz Birth Kit. So you can go through all the lessons there. Niching, of course, is fully covered there. So you can show up ready to rock and roll with your niche statement. Pre-sale pricing, $1,200 paid in full. There are coaching payment plans available as well. You can see that over at the website, and that's blissbeyondnaptime.com/10K. You know what? It's not _-mom-coach. I changed it just recently, but I'll also put a link in the comments underneath this video inside the Facebook group. Again, it increases to $1,500 on Tuesday. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on that sales page. There's a link to sign up for a Zoom call, a 20-minute. You can ask me if you can't decide between this or working with me one-on-one. I can guide you or answer any questions you might have about this mastermind, basically, that is also group coaching. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. And we're going to get you heading towards reaching 10K months in 2023, which means you helping a lot of moms who are hungry for a coach, for someone to look forward to talking each week with. It's so needed right now, and it is a growing industry. So let's get you there, set up for success. So I'm gonna stop sharing here and give a little thank you for joining me today. And if you have any questions, do reach out. Otherwise, I'll be talking to you soon. Really quick, the process looks like you fill out an application. On that application, you state, there's a place for you to say if you want to pay in full or which one of the payment plans. And then I will send you an email with the agreement to sign as well as the invoice to pay. And then you're like, you're in. That's my in sound effect. Okay. I can't wait to see you in, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.